that we've found throughout the day. And in this case, since I was on the halftime report today, it will include that as well. So let's get right to it, shall we? 3 at 3, as I say, this is the presentation for the 24th of September, 2020. I am Jon Najarian, and this is 3 at 3. Disclaimer says that our educational services are provided for that purpose, education and information. You should not rely on this as guidance. You should instead view it as informational and educational only. As far as intellectual property rights, yes, we have copyrights, we have trademarks, we have patents on the material you're about to see. Please, before you use it, ask us. We appreciate that. And then we will ask, of course, that you cite us in the use of this material. Thank you. All right, I thought you'd find this interesting, folks. This is a graph I put together for our clients over at Market Rebellion, as well as the halftime report. And what I thought it showed is you frequently hear things, buy rumors, sell news, and so forth. And anticipation is one thing on the street, Wall Street that is very important. When you anticipate an event, it is something that people can either look forward to or dread. And quite frankly, we've all been looking forward to the potential for a vaccine. And after that June sell-off that you see to the far left side of that graph, we started to see a pretty significant rally from basically the end of June all the way up until September 2nd. And on that date, as you see on the screen, the COVID vaccine tracker, September 2nd, that was when Oxford began stage 3 trials in the U.S. for their COVID vaccine. So that's one of those buy rumors, sell news. Sell news because we had Moderna, we had Sorrento, we had J&J, we had AstraZeneca, we had so many that had been part of that driver, that anticipation for the good news that we hope to get, and we still do hope to get that good news. But we needed something else after all of those started basically getting close to the final steps. In other words, phase 3 or stage 3, as they're calling it here, is that final step before they get emergency use authorization and so forth. And that happened to coincide with 3580 for the S&P, literally 3600 that David Costin over at Goldman Sachs was talking about. And that was his end of the year target. Well, we sold off a good 10% from there. And what I'm pointing out is we need either A, more good news about COVID to drive us higher, or stimulus. Either of those takes us back to 3,600. If we get both of those, we will go higher than that. On the other hand, if we don't, we are susceptible to the whims of our friends, the bears in the market. If you'd like to learn more about trading stock, options, futures, cryptocurrencies, go on over to marketrebellion.com/get started. That is marketrebellion.com/get started. We have distance learning, which means that you basically get on your computer or your iPhone, iPad, Fire, whatever, and you can watch the presentations that we've recorded, depending what level you decide to get in at, beginning, intermediate, advanced, and you can go through them at your own timetable. You don't have to wait for a class to begin, but we do have live as well to augment that. And you can find out about all of that for stocks, options, futures, cryptocurrencies over at marketrebellion.com/get started. You can also sign up for our trading conference. It's virtual this year, and one weekend could indeed change your trading life. You see on the top there, my brother Pete and I, the co-founders of Market Rebellion, but we've got Tony Dwyer, Raul Powell, we've got Bedros Keuilian, fantastic entrepreneur on the West Coast. We've got Thomas Lee from Fundstrat. We've got Jeff Mackey, the brilliant gentleman about retail and more. We've got Doug Kurzian, who's a sports betting analyst and anchor on ESPN. We've got Grover Nordquist. We've got Mark Lepresti, Dirk Muller-Ingrand. We've got Ryan Mastro, our chief options strategist at Market Rebellion. AJ Monty, market strategist and brilliant technician. He is a CMT, along with, of course, Bill Johnson also holds that designation. You can join us for 18 hours of information and education on the 9th and 10th of October. You can sign up. Just go on over to marketrebellion.com, and you can, as you see, we're already sold out at platinum and gold, but you can still join and get in on a bronze ticket. You can do that if you go to marketrebellion.com. Thank you, folks. All right. So today, Qualcomm was one of the bits of unusual information and unusual option activities that I cited on the halftime report. Now, Qualcomm, mistakenly, it went up as the 155 calls. I apologize for that. They were indeed the 115 calls. Now, I don't know if it was just an error in what they posted, or if I sent them something that was wrong. Usually I'm telling them directly from our blog, which you'll see in a second. But as you see there, normal volumes are less than 1,000 contracts in Qualcomm October 115 calls. But take a look at this. Today, we see Qualcomm October 2nd 115 calls being bought from 90 cents, which is $90, because every option is for 100 shares of stock, on up to $140. And that was with the stock at 111.52. Now it's almost $1 higher than that, and we've obviously been to 113, visited that today already, as I mentioned it on the halftime report. That is the first of our 3 at 3. Let me get to the next one. Skechers. There I am talking about Skechers on the halftime report. They are buying these out in November, folks. These are November calls. I believe the 2nd of November is when they have earnings due for Skechers. And as you see, the stock was down a little less than 1%, trading 30.42 when we saw this unusual activity. This is how we cited it on our blog. November 37 calls, 55 cents to 70 cents, with the stock at 29.30. Again, the stock is 30.42 by the time I was mentioning it on the halftime report, because many of you were already buying it. But that's when we saw it, 29.30 at 11:21 Eastern Time. That's 10:21 Central, of course, or 8:21 West Coast. Skechers, you know what they do, shoes and now apparel as well. And as you see, earnings are estimated here. I was wrong. It's the 20th of October. In other words, though, these are covered, that those earnings will be covered by these calls potentially. And not much time decay yet in these. It starts accelerating dramatically in the next 2 or 3 weeks, however. So watch that one. That is the second of our 3 at 3. And there is the graph with the stock at 30.11 just moments ago. Let me get to the third and final of our 3 at 3. And that is SPY or Spider. This we saw 20,000 of the October 330 calls being bought for $2.27. That was with the SPY, which is, of course, the S&P 500 in an ETF form, and it's trading $323.81. 20,000 is a big trade. These are options that expire next Friday, not tomorrow, which is the 25th, but 7 days hence, which would be the 2nd of October. And they're looking for a rally of about, $6.19 at least into that time frame, perhaps much higher than that. So let's take a look and see. There is the graph for the SPY and the SPY 325.53, 325.53 for the SPY. It was 323.81. So you get the idea that we've moved up by almost $2 full already in this trade. We've already made some money. I haven't taken it off. And when I talked with Scott Wapner, the host of the Halftime Report, about this, I told him, we've seen this unusual activity, Scott. You'll note, folks, that we are basically bouncing right at the approximate level of that 10% correction, and yet another reason why we were bullish on this when we saw somebody step in and buy 2 million share equivalent, because 20,000 options, since every option is for 100 shares of stock, is 2 million share equivalent. You want to learn more about unusual option activity? Come on over and join us at marketrebellion.com/UOA for unusual option activity. That is marketrebellion.com/UOA. You can get every single trade that we're putting on, and you can do that by joining. If that's too many, because we do usually north of 20 trades per day, if that's too many for you, we have a service that's 1 trade per day. Still the same unusual option activity. When we pick that 1 and post it, then the people that find that 20 trades are too many, they, of course, gravitate over towards that service. We also have a service that's 1 trade per week. And we have a service with Pete that's Pete's Cash Flow Portfolio. You can find out about all of that at marketrebellion.com. I encourage you to do that. Thank you for joining me today, folks. I hope it's great wherever you are. And I hope that you liked that rebound today. It was fierce. And let's hope it continues into the close, because I've got those S&P calls. Thank you for joining me, folks. I hope you have a great, happy, and safe evening. Bang.